Champions for Truth, Joe diGenova and Victoria Toensing. Welcome back, my friends, to America First.
Such a great day to be here.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, indeed. Merry Christmas, Happy Easter, all rolled into one. So let's divide it up. Let's have a division of labor. Victoria, give us the legal import of what happened and what every American who isn't a jurist, who isn't a lawyer or attorney, needs to know about today's decision.
Sebastian, here's what the documents dismissing the case said, that the interview of Michael was conducted without any legitimate investigative basis. It's what we have been saying for the last several years. The FBI cannot just come at your door and say, what did you have for breakfast? And if you don't want to tell them the jelly donut and you say yogurt, okay, you're indicted. But that's the legal equivalent, although it sounded fancier because it involved Russians and an ambassador. That was the legal equivalent. The FBI had no basis whatsoever for asking Michael Flynn, an incoming national security advisor, why he was talking to a Russian ambassador, and especially when they had the transcript. Secondly, they did not follow their protocol. For most of us, if the FBI knocks on our door, it is an unusual day, and we're a little, the heart beats a little faster. But for Michael Flynn, he's been talking to these dudes for the last several weeks. So they come in on another day and say, hi, let's talk about what you talked about with the ambassador. He has no idea that this is a big deal, and that if you forget something, that it's bad. And in fact, these interviews, these emails that just came out, showed the back and forth with them saying, are we going to tell him? That might be a lie. It might be a crime. No, let's not tell him. And then the third thing is that they lied to the court. The government lied to the court. They said that by Flynn not telling everything that was in that conversation impeded, that was the word, impeded the investigation. What investigation? There was no crime. So, and here's my final legal point, and then I'll turn it over to the calmer one of the two of us. This shows how lousy Covington and Burling was.
Yes. Who are Mike's original legal team?
Yes, the bad legal team. He got the good Sidney Powell later. But if the FBI is going to charge you with saying, hey, we interviewed you and you lied about what you said, 3 weeks ago in your conversation with X, don't you think your lawyer should have asked to see the transcript of the conversation with X? Covington and Burling was the first question I asked when I learned about the case. Well, what does the transcript say? They never asked for it.
Incredible. And let me just add the fact that Mike was visiting with people he thought were his colleagues in federal government for a chat. We have on record, on videotape, the then director of the FBI saying, yes, I sent those agents over to the White House completely in contravention of FBI protocols and procedures. We didn't warn him. We didn't Mirandize him. And I did so because I thought I could get away with it. And I did. Before we go to Joe, can I just, this is a personal, beef of mine. The idea that you misremember something or misstate something to a federal agent can land you up in jail. Is that something we need to change in our system?
Well, I can tell you this. If we're going to change it, we have to make sure that no matter what it happens, it can't be based on an agent's notes. It has to be based on a tape recording of the conversation. These conversations with witnesses are not recorded. Agents take notes and they put them in something called a 302. That is what they use to refresh their recollection. That's nonsense. This is the nuclear age, the post-nuclear age. All conversations with witnesses need to be recorded.
No, absolutely. Now comes the big question, less about, the legal technicalities. We're talking to Joe diGenova, Victoria Toensing. Follow her at Vic Toensing, Toensing. Why did the Obama holdovers, why did the deep state have to take this man down, a combat veteran, 3-star former director of the DIA? Why was Mike Flynn in the crosshairs of Comey, Brennan, et al.?
He was a threat to them because once he became the national security advisor for any length of time, he would have to be told about Crossfire Hurricane, the investigation of the president and his campaign. He would then know about it. He would disband it. He would disclose all the illegal activities. And so in order to prevent that from happening, they had to take him down. And so they framed him. They created him. They targeted a man and tried to create a crime. He was dangerous to them, and they all knew it. And everybody was in on this, including the President of the United States, Barack Obama, the Vice President, Susan Rice. They all knew what was going on. That's why she wrote her very famous email on Inauguration Day, that everything had been done by the book, and they had even had a meeting about it on January 6th where they all talked about it and made sure that everybody in the law enforcement and intel community knew that it had been done by the book. Now, what happens as a result of this is, as a result of this dismissal today, this throws into question every single bit of conduct by Bob Mueller, by Andrew Weissman, by Brendan Van Grok, by McCabe, by Comey, by Brennan, everybody associated with this constitutional monstrosity, this assault on an amazing public servant. This is going to be a civics lesson for the country. Now, CNN doesn't care, NBC doesn't care, the Washington Post doesn't care, the New York Times doesn't care, but the American people care. And this is going to be a homecoming for the rule of law. Everybody who was worried about Trump undermining the rule of law, nonsense. The people who undermined the rule of law were Comey, Brennan, all the people in the FBI, and the people who conducted those interviews. By the way, guess what? You know how the Democrats love whistleblowers? Where are the whistleblowers in this case?
Yes.
Not a single FBI agent, not a single DOJ lawyer. The only heroes in this case are military people. It's disgusting. They need to, this guy, Brendan Van Grok, who withdrew from the case today before the motion to dismiss was filed because he didn't want to be a party to it. He still runs the Foreign Agents Registration Act section at the Justice Department. I cannot imagine he can stay in that job. He should be fired. He should be removed from the department. He is an unethical, unprofessional prosecutor. And by the way, today is the result of Bill Barr being the Attorney General of the United States and knowing how to handle a tough problem. Barr's a hero. He deserves a lot of applause.
And he played chess with it. He didn't just go out there and say, oh, my God, this is a travesty, as we all knew, and I think he knew because he's a damn good lawyer. He pushed it to the U.S. attorney or assigned it to the U.S. attorney, another U.S. attorney, and said, you look with it, you go into depth with it, and then report back to me, and bingo, here's what happened.
Yes, indeed. He did the classic chess move. There are some heroes. Mike Rogers is one of them. Also, Mike Flynn. In the last minute we have left, you've given us a long list of the bad guys out there. Where does it begin? What is the legal jeopardy? Technically, Victoria, is it abuse under the color of power? Where does this begin?
Obstruction of justice. I mean, false statements to the court. But also, Michael Flynn has a case against his lawyers.
Yes.
For malpractice.
Against Covington.
Yeah,
right.
Sorry, Covington. And by the way, Joe, you just said the vice president was Joe Biden, who was knowledgeable about this. So let's make that very clear. Joe Biden knew that this was going on the entire time.
Well, I have made a very long list here. I'll be tweeting it out. Comey, Mueller, Weissman, Biden, Brennan, McCabe, Lynch, Rice, Obama, or Page, Van Grok. Oh, I bet they need some very good lawyers, and I hope they are very expensive.
We are not available.
You are not available. Good thing, too. Good thing, too. We can't wait to have you. Going to be in studio next week here. One of our most popular ever videos. It's already at 250,000 views. Check out Victoria Toensing and Joe diGenova here on America First and on our YouTube channel.